What's going on, you guys? Yeah, everyone grab their pink comforter. I got the worst haircut ever. This is my haircut. Look at that.
Oh, and then you said Pat Dixon does have a past.
He's DeVito. His chin is kinda neato. He's Ray DeVito. He is a Guido. He's not a pedo. His name is Ray DeVito. Problems with his pedo. He's kind of retardito. Is Ray DeVito. His chin is pretty neato. That Ray DeVito. Your information he'll repeat-o. That stinky Guido. That's Ray DeVito. Rock Bottom Podcast starts now.
What's up? What's going on, you punks? Welcome, Rock Bottom Podcast. I'm Ray DeVito. I got the great Bonnie McFarlane with me. How are you, Bonnie?
I'm good, thank you. I'd be better if I wasn't doing this podcast.
Well, come on now. Jesus, come on. We just started. Come on. I'm sitting in front of a broken treadmill.
I try to be honest. I try to be honest at all costs. I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
man.
my superpowers, just telling the truth.
Oh, jeez, man. Doesn't even want to be here. Come on, man. I held her against her will to be here. Oh, that's not going to...
I feel like an Israeli hostage right now.
An Israeli hostage as opposed to other hostages? I think a hostage is a hostage, right? Are there some hostages that are just...
I don't want to talk about hostages.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there some hostage sitting somewhere and be like, hey, at least I'm not an Israeli hostage. I'm a hostage
I didn't want to speak Palestinian hostage because my husband is... I had to think about like which way, like if he ever found out that I said something, like which way would be the best way to word it for the joke.
Okay.
He's very pro Palestinian. Israeli.
Freudian slip.
Yikes.
Yeah.
No, I had to mute him on Instagram because I couldn't take it anymore.
For those of you that don't know, Bonnie's a great comic. She's been on everything. The Tonight Show, Conan,
the Ray DeVito podcast.
Yes, the Rock Bottom podcast. Her husband is the great Rich Voss. For those of you that don't know, the legend. That I gotta appreciate anyone that will call themselves the legend. That's like,
the joke. Okay, so Jeff Ross used to call himself the roast master, like before he was the roast master.
Right.
And then it caught on and he became the roast master. And I said to Rich, I go, you should just call yourself the legend. You know what I mean? Like, let's just put it to the test. And then, I started calling him the legend. And the thing is that Rich gets it somewhat ironically. Like it's like, he really is a legend. That's not in question, but it's kind of funny. Like, especially if I say it, I'm being a little bit tongue in cheek. But I don't think Rich is being tongue in cheek at all.
No, I do think, I call him the legend. Like, it stuck. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so,
I know. It's like funny. He goes, people always call me the legend now. I know.
And he might have one of the funniest roasts out there. The Rich Voss roast is insanely great. That's, I'm going to say Florentine killed it.
Oh, everyone
killed.
So great. I have not watched it ever, like since the edit came out. We did that, but I should go back and watch it. It's been enough time. But I remember that Florentine at the time was just insane, so funny. But everyone was very, very good.
Yeah, it was a great roast. It was. I got to do a couple quick.
Big Jay Ogerson had to go last, I think, right before Rich, and he was so funny. It was like, it just got crazy. Like everyone is doing so well, and you're like, oh God, now I gotta go on. I was hosting, so I was like, I was the roast master.
Exactly. You set him up. If you didn't kill it at the top, then it's really like
nervous because I said my friend and I produced the whole thing, and it was a lot of work. It took an enormous amount of time just to, realize like getting all these people in the same room at the same time. And then we had half the audience was friends and, you know, people we knew and stuff. And then the other half was paid audience. But like just getting all these different, you know, then we had somebody filming it, getting all this stuff in place for the thing was really hard. So then all of a sudden I realized like, I have to do it. Like I forgot about that part of it. And so when the night came to actually do it, I suddenly was just standing there like, I'm going to have to go on and do this now. This is crazy. And then I just said, just have lots of confidence.
Yeah, well, that's the thing about roast where it's always going to be nervous because it's like you're saying a joke for the first time. Every joke is a brand new joke.
Exactly. And it's about people that like are, it's like if I make fun of Jim Norton, which I did, he could easily destroy me after that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like twist the knife too hard. You know what I mean? And then verbally get.
Yeah, but it's also an honor. I mean, like people always like I didn't know Patrice well at all. I didn't know him, but like I had just got to New York, and you go to the Boston Comedy Club, and then you get like late night spots, and he would literally like just make fun of everybody. Like me and Jesse Joyce, we'd go there, and he'd just like tear us apart. More so for the fact that like I have to get off stage for these. For these assholes, and we're just doing like the non-paid, like just a late night spot. But like, but he would tear you down, like he would make fun of like what you're wearing and stuff, and just everything. And like part of it was like kind of cool because you're like, all right, at least he's recognized me. At first, you're like, this is kind of me, but at the other time, you're like, all right, that's
he knows who I am.
Yeah, it's like it is like you're listening. You're like, all right, he does have a point. Like you're listening to every joke. Like I do look like shit. I do. Yeah, you're right. So I don't know. I always thought it was. You know who I did not like, and I will go on the record in those days. I didn't like Todd Lin. He was just a dick to be a dick. I don't know if you ever ran into him.
I like Todd Lin, though, but you know
he was probably nice to you.
He liked women. Like you genuinely felt like he was supportive of women. He liked women.
He didn't like me.
A lot of comedians, I think, are Homo-Social, which means they just
what's Homo-Social?
They like hanging around men.
Well, here's the one thing though, hanging out with men that's like, there's no like weird vibes that could be taken the wrong way when you're with the dude. It feels like the filters are out. I mean, I know you're a comic, like hanging out at the table at the stand and stuff. Like we talk about whatever, but I'm just saying for the most part, if I don't know a woman comic that well, you don't want to say just anything because you don't know how it's going to be interpreted. Does that make sense?
I feel like that about every single new person that comes into comedy. You're like, there's men that you're like, you make a little joke towards and they're like, what? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not the same as it used to be. It's like, it's very gentle. It's like we're in acting class era now, you know, it's like where everybody's like, great job. You know, nobody's holding anybody else's like there's really, really good comics right now. Like really, really good comics coming up right now. I think like inventive, interesting. But then there's also like this really hacky sort of style of comedy happening. And because there's no Patrice going, hey, that's fucking been done, you fucking hack. It's like if you say anything to somebody now, it's like, ooh, I don't know.
Yeah, there's
like a monster. I made a joke to a guy and he got so upset. It was like wild. I was just like, oh my God, I was just joking around.
I gave a comic a tag once, like a newer comic a tag once, and they were like, looked at me. I was like, all right, don't use it then. I was like, fuck it, maybe I'll use it. Maybe I'll take that premise and fucking use it. Like that's actually, it's like I was trying to help. If someone gives me a tag, I'm like, thank you. Even if it's something that doesn't make sense, I'm like, thank you so much. That's pretty cool.
Right. Like you watched my set, you know?
Yeah.
Well, people ask me to watch their sets all the time. People send me stuff they've written all the time, and you know, lots of times I don't read it or watch their sets or whatever, but if I do, it's like I mean, I'm not going to read everything everybody wants. Like, but first of all, I think it's wild that people are like, can you read this? It's like, I'm not your mom. Like, what do you like?
They're giving you homework.
Yeah, like, why would I care about what you fucking do? And but if I like the person, like there's lots of people I like or that, you know, I feel like are my peers or whatever, I'll do it. And I will give them real notes on it. But for the most part, people just want you to say good job. Like they get like basically this is what happened. So this girl asked me to read her script and I'd worked with her on
A whole script?
A whole ass script.
Wow.
And I read it and then I gave her notes on it. And it wasn't like it was terrible, but it was like there was a real story structure problem, which I alerted her to. And I gave her this really good advice that someone gave me once about writing a script. And it was like she was just not appreciative at all.
Oh, really?
Advice. No, she was an asshole to me after that. And it was like, oh.
You read the whole script. I mean, just the fact that you read it.
They gave her good notes also. But that's like somebody who just wants you to say great job or whatever, which I did give her positive stuff first. And then just a few things to help. I thought that's why you were giving it to me. So I could tell you how to make it better. But
yeah,
then
that's
I just was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not fucking helping people anymore.
Oh,
unless
man.
I like them, unless I'm good friends with them.
And that really like ruined your relationship with that comic now? Or it's not as strong as it was?
Yeah. She's not around anymore, but
because of you? Because of your criticism?
No, I don't know, because those people that's not what they're after. They're not after you know, they don't want to be good. They just want to be famous or whatever. So lots of times stand-up does have a good filtering system for that. You know, you see people come in and they get a certain distance and then they go, fuck it. It's too hard. And they leave.
Yeah, I don't know. I think back to my Todd Lin thing, though. The thing that he did upset me is a Montreal edition when I was it was at Stand Up New York, and this intro to everyone bombed. He was hosting it. Everyone bombed, but his intro for me is like, oh great, here's another white guy. This will suck. That was his intro to my JFL audition, and I went on stage. And the first thing I said is like, all right, that's Todd. At least I got my intro exactly the way I wanted him to.
Yes. See, I was thinking you could at least really work with.
I got nothing. When that joke got nothing, I'm like, this is,
yes, that's funny.
I'm like, all right, we'll try it again next year. When that got nothing and it was a full room, I was like, all right, this is not.
Yeah.
I got nothing.
It's like, that's what like upsets me is when especially at the very beginning, because lots of times they're taking time to like suss out who you are. And I think being silly at the beginning of your set is the hardest thing to do because they don't know yet that you're going to be silly or funny or self-deprecating or whatever. And it's really, I feel like that's the hardest thing is because I used to do things where I'd yell at the MC or whatever. And the audience would just be like, they didn't know that it was a joke. You're like, how could it not be a joke? Crazy.
Well, here's what I do say. This is my advice to comics. If they, you don't got to stay in the showroom and watch the whole show, but maybe watch a comic in front of you. Because once we were on the same show and you were great, but the crowd wasn't that great, and you missed the comic before you go at the crowd for not that much of a reason, and you're like, you guys stink, and it's like. But you missed the debacle that happened literally 4 minutes before you went on stage. And I like the comic. I'm not going to say their name, but they're a great comic. But you did not see that right before you went on stage. And it was like, you know what I mean?
The name of that comic.
Yeah, I'll tell you offline. It's someone we all love. But yeah, like. They just had a thing with the crowd, and like you missed that, and you're like, "Man, you guys suck." And you're going.
Well, I think it was because every once in a while, I'll like, you know, at the stand, we don't watch each other very often, and then every once in a while, I'll just watch the whole show for no reason, and I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like that joke is similar to my joke, or that's the same premise that I'm doing, and I'm not. And the audience must be like, well, did she not see the guy that did, you know, because sometimes it'll be like the exact opposite take that I'm doing or whatever. But I guess the audience doesn't care.
Yeah, I just thought that
I
was
don't
funny.
notice it when I'm on stage usually, but it's like wild that you're like, oh, all this stuff is happening. That
Yeah, but yeah, I just remember that one time. All right, I'm gonna read. I will give out a shout out to my sponsor. I got my own hot sauce. How about that? SilkCityHotSauce.com. Put in Rock B as a code, get 15% off. Jeff Levine and the boys doing fine things. And then also, I was listening to your podcast. Well, it's I never tried. I went on Jim and Sam. I never tried it before. And then I got it right before I went on Jim and Sam. So I tried it. I was like promoting it. Like, what's it taste like? I'm like, I don't know. I haven't tasted it yet.
Wait, oh, you had nothing to do with curating the sauce? You just
No. Silk City Hot Sauce did. Thank God. That's what makes it good. You think I do? And then my other thing, I don't know. I was trying to get my Father Time whiskey. You have did Jim Gaffigan give you a bottle of his whiskey?
Yes.
Yes, Father Time whiskey. Yes, he asked you in the letter to promote it if you can't, so I always do.
Because he texted me, he was like, you didn't get your bottle of alcohol? And I go, oh, I did, thank you. And he goes, okay, great. And then later I was like, saw people posting and I was like, oh, was I supposed to do that? Hey guys, buy Father Time whiskey. It's so good. There it is. Anything Jim Gaffigan's involved in, that's gonna be. That's as
Father
good as
Time.
Yes. That's the hot pocket of what kind of alcohol is it? Whiskey.
It's bourbon whiskey. Yeah.
Oh.
Bourbon whiskey.
Of bourbons.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a compliment to say that hot pot. I mean, it's very.
Well, have you ever had
I love hot pockets.
Hot pocket? They're not good.
No, lean pockets. I used to love when I was in high school. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But I back to my hot sauce. I listen to your podcast. My Wife Hates Me. You and Rich Voss. Very funny podcast.
Yes.
And you were talking about. I do want to. Now that I lost my hot sauce, but you were talking about your daughter had a birthday and Rich was buying her first of all, you bought her a car, which is insane. My parents never bought me a car, let alone.
Rich and I talk about this all the time. It's like, we're worried that she's not going to like a brand new car that we bought her. It's like,
it's a car.
We're raising a different person than we've clearly broken the cycle of whatever shit we were in because this is.
Dude,
crazy.
My first car was a Dodge Aries, 1987 Dodge Aries. I bought off my cousin for $150.
Yeah, that's a similar situation to me too. And I shared my car with my sisters.
My dad was so pissed at me because
you loved it, right?
I loved the car. It was a piece of crap, but I loved it. But my dad was so pissed because I didn't realize I got the car and I just started driving it. I didn't realize you had to register it, pay insurance or anything. I'm just like, I just got a car now. I just had the title.
Yeah,
this is my car.
Doesn't know either because we did it all for her.
Oh, you even did all that for it. My dad.
Yeah, we put it in the driveway with a bow on it and the license plates on it, and insurance is all taken care of.
And you're paying her insurance too? Damn, you.
I know. But
can you adopt me? Can you adopt me?
Here's the thing. So I grew up really poor, like abject poverty. Okay, and Rich grew up poor as well. We had different kinds of poorness going on because I had 1800 style poorness and he had living in the hood poorness. And it comes with a mindset when you grow up poor like that it takes a lot to go, I deserve this. Do you know what I mean? When you're ready to get out of it and become have nice things, it's hard. I always say trash pulls you back. It's worse than any addiction. It's constantly calling to you. It's come on back. You're always doing stuff that's poor mindset, So I do think even though Raina, our daughter, is spoiled, she won't have that mindset. She'll just assume that she deserves nice things, and then she'll just have nice things.
I like how you did a whole psychology on it. So
yes, I know this is the part of me that Rich hates, but she also plans to go to a very good college. She gets really good grades. Like, she believes in herself. She has like high self-esteem, you know what I mean? So it's like there are some bad things that come with that, which is like she's got champagne tastes, you know, on everything.
Right,
literally,
right.
like vacations, you know, like Rich and I took her and her friend to Los Angeles in May, and Rich and I flew first class with our miles and put them in coach. And she was like,
Coach isn't that bad. Coach isn't that bad. It makes it sound like it's horrible. I only fly coach. It's not that insane.
And also, you're sitting there with your friend and like your parents are nowhere around. Like, that would be so fun.
Yeah, I'd rather sit and coach and not next to my parents if I'm there with my friend. I'd rather be in the back with my friend than like, you know, that's like if you're like have a friend doing a sleepover and you're like in middle school, it's like, all right, we can either like watch TV in the basement, just the two of us, and like or go up in the living room and watch a movie with my parents. Yeah, it's like, we'll just go hang downstairs away from
shitty couch downstairs, right?
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna do a quick.
They're just on their phones and their AirPods and their games anyway. They're not even looking beyond this.
No, that's true. Like, I hang out with my nieces and nephews, and like, yeah, they really just keep to themselves. Even when they're in the other room, just like on their phones and stuff. It's not like I do with my two nieces I interact with the most, but like the rest of my nieces and nephews, like I don't. And so I don't know. It's a different thing. This is part of the show. I got to read some of these super chats. If they're mean, I won't read them. Husey, Ray, stop having vulgar thoughts about Bonnie. It's inappropriate. Don't think about her legs as earmuffs. All right. Thank you, Husey.
I didn't get it at first, but the inappropriate thoughts I at first thought was like, does he want to wash my hair?
Yeah.
Very greasy hair. Okay.
Yes. He's over in Ireland. He's a good man. Just says weird things, but he's all right. Tigger, this just a reminder that Voss's recent stand-up gig was canceled due to a car show in town outselling him. # KB is God. He had a show canceled because of a car show. I don't know. Rich is killing it. Rich,
that's somebody trying to be hilarious.
Yes. Tigger.
And who
74
canceled because of a car show?
Yeah, it happens, man. I was at a baseball card show all week and opening packs. This is a CJ Stroud rookie that someone gave me.
Wow.
Yeah. Husey, Ray, if you keep thinking about cuckolding Voss, I'm going to stop watching. Stop having dirty thoughts about Bonnie. Well, thank you, Husey.
Do these? All right. Wait, this is the weird thing I have about fans. Yeah, am I allowed to interject in this part of the show?
Yes, go ahead, please. Give it to him. Give it to him. Go at him.
No, it's not. I have a weird thing where it's like these guys. First of all, I think guys are hilarious. I think a lot of the fans are hilarious. I have a different.
He's also a podcaster. He's been on this show before.
Right. So they're like, especially like comedy fans. They know comedy. They get it. And lots of times they'll respond with very funny things. But when they start getting into this, like, having dirty thoughts about Bonnie, it's like, but I'm one of the funniest people on the planet. Like, wouldn't that trump for you nerds? Like, whatever.
You hear this, Husey? This is all the Husey. Get him, Bonnie. You hear that?
You
nerd. Like, Husey is a nerd.
Why? I don't understand why they're like, there's lots of girls in comedy that are cute and not that funny. Fucking go for it. Have dirty thoughts about them. But why would you ruin the comedy thoughts you could be having about me?
Yes, you know what I mean? Husey, he's an asshole,
like,
dude.
The top of my list is not hotness; it's funniness. So,
Husey's
if you're
got
really
neither.
A comedy nerd, you should be commenting on that, not.
Yeah, Husey doesn't have funniness or hotness, so he's just stuck in Ireland with this bottle of Guinness, this warm bottle of Guinness. Dirty deeds. Do you still hold a grudge again in Pat Dixon? Hashtag skull. I don't know if that's
I don't have to hold a grudge against him. The world has.
Yes, no grudges. Everyone's it's all good-natured ribbing. Shmuel Buckman. Bonnie the Dream Killer. I don't know what Shmuel's saying there, but Bonnie's a shit. She's awesome. One Furious F. Bonnie. Did you know Ray isn't just a Homo-Social? He's a full-time homo.
Oh.
Homo.
I think like if he was, listen, I don't know, but if you were a full-time homo, that would be great. Like
I wish I was gay, Bonnie. Yes. Bonnie, I wish I was gay. I'm not. I'm not gay. I'm not attracted to men whatsoever. But yeah, sadly I'm attracted to women. Yeah.
Women are better. I mean, they just are. Sorry.
I mean, even women dress for women. Women try to impress. Like you notice good-looking women. Like I see dudes.
Every single woman on the planet under the age of, let's say, 30 is like defines themselves as bisexual. I mean, it's like
really.
Like once the thing was like lifted, where it's like, okay, it's fine. You know, in fact, not just fine, but maybe even helpful. Women were like, okay, great. Like it's not hard for women to. It's like women.
Have you ever?
And they always have.
Have you ever like kissed another girl?
Have I? I've experimented broadly.
See. So all right. So you're part of that. You're part of that too. Was it last week? Was it last week?
No, I'm out of the sex game now. It's over.
I'm out of the game. I hung up my jersey. I just hung up my jersey with my sex jersey.
I was going through before I got married.
A couple more of these dislabeled. I don't know. Sometimes he could be nice and he could be. Bonnie killed her neighbor's cat, laughed about it, and put it in a comedy special. And now her neighbor claims she has PTSD. Oh, come on, would you do a joke about your neighbor's?
It's not untrue necessarily. I mean, the way he said I killed the cat.
Yeah, he's chipping you.
I didn't start a fire. There was a fire.
You're not. He's not Billy Joel. You are Billy Joel.
Was killed.
Bonnie didn't start the fire.
So those things are true.
How was the cat killed?
Well, there was a fire in our building when we lived in. There was in a condo. 6 condos went up, and
okay.
There was no. You know, I don't know why I get blamed, but there's no source for the fire. There's no. It wasn't me. And but I did make the joke that it was me in a comedy,
okay,
in a special. So I guess I kept it going, you know. But
that's the other thing too about like this. Some of this, like I love the podcast fans. 90% of them are great, but sometimes you say something as a joke, and then they're like, yes, "Oh, well, that definitely happened." It's like it's a joke.
That's the other thing that's
you dummies.
Me too about comedy fans is like. They will give up their comedy for drama. And it's like, no, if you're a comedy fan, you're a comedy fan. Like, don't suddenly take, like, sometimes they'll be like, well, when he was joking with him, he was really serious. It's like, no, he was joking with the guy. I thought you were in it for the jokes. Now you go watch The Housewives then, you know.
Go watch a house fire. What happened to the cat? Why was the cat such a big deal of it?
So the way that I told it in the special, what happened was there was a fire. My daughter and I got out of we didn't know there was a fire. It was started outside. And when we looked out the window, the window was in flames. So we went out the back door and went around, and I saw this woman walking up the back steps. And I go, there's a fire. She goes, yeah, I know. I called 911. The way she said it was like it was like she was walking slowly into the building. But I think that's the woman who had cats in there, and she was going up to get her cats, and the cats perished, sadly, obviously. And I've said many times, it's horrifying. I can't even imagine. It's horrifying. It's absolutely horrifying. Did I make jokes about it? Yes, I did. But
I'm
a vegan. I love animals. but I also am like, you know, a comedian. But that woman, and with good reason, she put a lot of the blame of what happened to her cats on me.
She
and
did?
Then he's sitting there. Yes, she started tweeting me and stuff. And then I did
instead of saving her cat, she went to Twitter. Instead of actually going
This is what happened. This is
Okay.
This is like weeks later, maybe months later. I don't know, but I didn't know at first that her cats died, and then I found out, and then I started making jokes about it, and then
then it was funny once you found out the cats were dead. Like, wait a minute, this is pretty good. How many cats did she have?
Obviously, if it happened to me, it would be horrible, horrifying, but it didn't have it. I mean, okay, so this is what I think about when I think about her. I think she was in a lot of pain, which I would also be. She blamed me,
Right.
which is totally fine. She came after me. I'm okay with that. I didn't, I use me for your, and then she's just sitting at home one day and sees a special where I'm fucking making fun of it and making fun of her. Like, yes, she has every right to fucking hate me. Hate me.
You're getting a paycheck. Yeah, you're making a paycheck off her dead cat.
Yes,
You're just like, hey.
horrible. But you know, I mean, there's worse things that people have done in the world. I didn't kill her cat.
Your backdrop on stage is a cat. Your backdrop is a cat on fire.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a picture of her cat with flames behind it,
right.
with dollar bills raining over it.
Look, if anything happened to my animals, I mean, I don't see. That's why I joke about it, because I don't actually want to really think about it. It would be horrible.
Yeah.
It would be worse. That's why I can't. That's what people do. That it's sensitive people make these horrible jokes because it distances you from the actual impact of what the reality.
Yeah, that's just like I was listening to you, your podcast, and you were talking about like, how we become desensitized, like the day Trump got shot, and comics were making jokes that night, and the crowd's laughing at it. Like nobody, maybe because he wasn't hurt. You know what I mean?
But there was people hurt though. That's the thing that's weird.
Yeah,
still like I said last weekend or 2 weeks ago or something. I was like, I called it a paper cut, and everybody laughed. And then I was like, I felt weird having said that, because I'm like, people really did die. Cats died.
I think it was Rich. I made that joke in your podcast where Trump said, well, God was looking out for me. It's like, what about the other guy that died?
Yes,
what was God doing?
Right.
What did God think of that guy?
Right.
Like that guy that dies, like he wasn't under God's watch. You know, it's like, like, so.
Yeah, but no, like, yeah. Okay. So those people whose dad or mom or whoever, son or brother was killed that day, they're sitting there, we're all making jokes. What if they're in the audience watching? That's why you can't worry about like some people, comedy hurts. But if we were that cautious about it, we wouldn't ever make jokes about anything.
Yeah, then there'd be no jokes. Then you're right.
And her dad is famous, and she went to a comedy show, and the comedian was trashing her dad. And she just was like, there was nothing she could do. She couldn't just get up and leave. Somebody might recognize her. She just has to sit there and
I would just show his bank account. I would just show how much money he's worth and be like, it's like, I think we're winning. I think financially we're winning.
But I'm just saying, like, everybody's laughing. Like, sometimes you have to be a comedy martyr. Sometimes you're like, okay, well, I guess. I mean, it must suck. It must really suck. When people are laughing at your tragedy, it must fucking suck.
This is a dislabeled. Dislabeled's a comedy. I think he was just chipping you. I think he's just chipping you.
When did he say it?
Oh, he was the one that said about the dead cat, but I think he's just chipping you. He's a good egg. The fact that he watched your special lets you know he's a comedy nerd in a good way. I mean, nerd in a positive way.
It was I can't remember what it was called. It was called it was on Comedy Central, like, I can't believe this happened, or this can't be happening.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. That Ari show.
Yeah.
Right with Junior and Ari Shafir show.
Yeah.
Just label. Rich used to tell people how terrible Marinito Bonnie was and how he only stayed because of the kids.
Okay,
he's trolling you. He's trolling you. Yeah.
I know he's trolling you, but this is what I'm talking about, where it's like either pick comedy or pick drama. If you're picking drama, you're at the wrong place. Goodbye. Like,
no drama here.
It's so weird. Like, we've been married for 18 years. We make horrible jokes about one another. You know, either you're into it or you're not. Like, but don't take it fucking seriously.
Wouldn't that be great if this super chat broke up your marriage right now? Right now, you just start. You just start.
It would be great. I'm looking for a reason. Yes, thank you.
It was all because it dislabeled. It was because it dislabeled. The marriage is over.
Thank
Is that
you.
an Emmy behind? Is that an Emmy behind you?
Yeah, that's my Emmy.
Hell yeah! You grab your Emmy, you grab your laptop, and you're like, I'm out. Like you're just at Starbucks. You just grab your Emmy, grab your your coat, and like, dude, the things dislabeled said in a super chat to me, unacceptable.
Yeah, that's it. Right.
Unacceptable. What is the
marriage? I crushed
what is the Emmy for?
I wrote on a it's outstanding writing for a special, but it's actually for writing the Independent Spirit Award.
Okay, cool. You have that, and I just have drawings I do of my my podcast listeners. They pay me to do drawings of them.
So funny. That's so funny.
That's Noga.
Also, by the way, just because I just see this guy's like thing is still up there. It is terrible being married to me. That's why like you have to give Rich credit, because a lot of guys, they marry women who are quieter, more submissive. They let, especially like famous men or men who are into becoming famous or like being they want to be the guy, the head, the thing. And I feel like Rich doesn't get enough credit at all for marrying someone who's like so fucking tough to be married to.
Oh, you don't hold back, but he's very fun. You guys are very funny together. It is fun to watch. Listen to your podcast. Reminds me when I first started, Bob Biggerstaff. He lives in Houston now, but we started. Do you know Bob Biggerstaff?
I don't, but I actually do know who.
Okay. But we started the podcast together. The G Hole is the greatest hour of listening ever. Is what it was stood for. But we live next to each other in Astoria, and literally it was just him and me arguing nonstop about the dumbest shit. We were like an old married couple, and people loved it. And Bob loved it. I fucking hated it. I literally wanted to kill him after every episode, because I'd be like trying to like, I'd have a guest, and the guest would just sit there confused, whoever the guest would be. And it was just, I literally wanted to kill him. I love the guy, but I literally wanted to like just like, you son of a bitch.
People think like they're like we always get asked like, do you think like it helps your marriage, the podcast? And I actually don't think it does. I love the weeks where we don't do the podcast, because it's like digging. You have to dig up something to have a fight about, in a way. You know what I mean? Like there's no, like other people when they're married, they don't bring up every little issue that bothers them. I think that's healthier. I'm of the mind you should stuff it down. Stuff as much down as you possibly can for as long as you possibly can.
Unless you have a podcast and you got to bring it out.
Then you got to read it. Yeah. Then we
God, for this is just, they're trolling you, Bonnie. How much
get
you
rid
and
of these fucking comedy.
She loves everybody. Loves everybody. Yes, everybody loves everybody here. We sing Kumbaya at the end of this show. Bonnie, you've been here longer than your own podcast. Feelings for Ray, or just tired of his begging to be on his show? Ray, show your penis sketch. I don't know what this question is, but they think I begged you to be on my podcast. That's what they're saying.
Oh, okay. You just asked once, as far as I know.
Yes. No, they said they're giving me a hard time. That's all that is. I was gonna see. That was my dumb penis sketch. That was it.
Oh.
It's an old joke. That's a house with the sun. It's supposed to be snow dripping down, and then like a middle school teacher showed us that. For some reason, they showed us that in middle school. A substitute teacher. So everyone thinks I'm gay because I drew that picture. So yes, I'm gay. That one picture, that one drawing made me gay.
If you are, that's good for you.
I'm just gonna walk into a gay club, be like, look, I'm gay, clearly, right? Like there,
I mean,
right?
the thing is,
I'm
like, the
in.
gay thing isn't even like because there's like men who you would not even think are gay are gay. Like
Yeah.
there's just like you can't even
Like,
tell.
if you
Like
saw-
you have no idea anymore. You have to literally just ask everyone now. Like there's a guy who's like, hey,
Well, if you saw Tim Dillon on the street, you wouldn't think he's gay.
yes, exactly.
You know,
It's like,
at all.
and then if you were like, hey, you're gay, he'd be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, okay, I'm gay. Sure. Okay, call me gay. Fine. I'll take it. Yeah. Dirty deeds. B. Bonnie. Our characters did the dirty and Red Dead game. There you go. All right. There you go. That's a compliment. Dirty deeds.
Nice. Thank you.
Declinos. Rich has been hooking up with. No, he's chipping. Yeah.
Who's Felicia Gillespie?
I think she's someone that just featured for him somewhere on the road. She just worked with them. So that's it. They're just trying to.
Well, I hope he's fucking all his openers.
Yeah, it's like, finally, you don't have to. Yeah, I'm not doing it. Yeah, who had sex more, me and Bob Biggerstaff, or you and Rich? I think. I think we're tied at 0.
I will do it if I have to, but
I'll do it if I have to.
Sometimes him forcing me is like that gets me more like turned on than anything else. Like,
I'll tell you what, he's in good shape for a dude his age. You know, I mean, he's in good shape for a dude any age. I take that back. That was but yeah, that's he's in. I will say that
he's in good shape, and he's as much as he complains, he looks great for his age, and he's still very funny. Like
he's a very funny dude.
He goes, he still makes me fucking laugh so hard. So he didn't know I was home, and the electrician was here, and I heard him say to the electrician, the electrician goes, hey, can I ask you a question? And Rich goes, I'm married. To the electrician. And it's so funny because Rich didn't know I could hear him do it. He was just doing it for himself, you know.
That's hilarious.
And, it's hilarious. And then the electrician doesn't laugh, nothing. Just goes, oh, no, that's not what I was going to ask you. So funny.
Well, oh, that's funny. We're not going to read it because this is someone trying to be mean. Tigger 74. Thank you. I'll put it up, but we're not reading. No mean things. Come on, we're in a friend zone.
On your podcast, and Kate Meany with her father on Jay Thomas show were both funny when younger. Do you hope your daughter turns into a fine young lady like Kate Meany?
They're taking shots at
I've
Kate
met
Meany.
Kate Meany once, but I have no idea if she's a good person or not. So
yeah, she's was a waitress at the comic strip, and she was always cool in the capacity I've known her.
Yeah,
I can't comment on that.
I guess I hope so.
Yeah. Bonnie, the One Furious F was a good egg. Even I got to talk to One Furious F off air. Bonnie, don't let Ray fool you. He wishes everyone well, but he really wishes they would drown in a well. Now smile, Ray. Come on, One Furious F. Jeez.
What, can I just say this?
That's funny.
I know it's corny, but this guy is joking. He's doing what
he's one of the funnier. He's one of the funnier super chatters. I do got to give him credit. He's a very funny guy.
He's showing that he loves comedy, but he needs professionals, which I think is great. He's like a guy.
He's great.
He's like a guy who tried to fix his own toilet and then calls on us. Calls on a plumber. All right, good job. I like that.
He's a good egg. I do like One Furious F. So I was listening to your podcast. The other thing, not only did you get I did think was funny that your daughter was like, I can't just get a car for my birthday. Like, so she needed something else. Did you point out there was a bow on the car too? Did you you got a bow too?
Yeah, there's a bow.
There's a bow.
No, we had to get her another gift.
But Rich bought her a T-shirt with her picture on it.
Yeah. From when she was like 8. It's so weird.
You said though on your podcast. By the way, that was funny when you were saying like the different lines that should be said on the shirt were hilarious, and neither one of you were laughing at either one of each other's jokes. You both had some funny lines that neither one of you were like laughed at. But
I'm
you
frozen. Dude, can you see me moving?
No,
I'm frozen.
And it also your fingers like God. Do you want to come out and come back in?
Well, I have to leave in 4 minutes anyway. Should I
Okay.
just say bye? Do you want me to leave and come back in? I'll leave and come back in. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
I just close the screen and then come back in. Click on the link. I took her out. But yeah, she was I'll wait till she gets back from there. But yeah, so this is what I got. A CJ Stroud card that someone gave me. 10 mint, gem mint at the that's a great time. And I think I'm gonna do more breaks. I think I'm gonna do more. I met a bunch of people at the convention, so gonna definitely do some more sports card breaks with and I think gonna do some maybe in New York City. I don't know where to do them at, but I'm gonna do it with some comics too. And I think that'll be good. I know a lot of the people watch this podcast. Some of you guys liked that I was doing the sports cards breaks, and some of you hated it. But I had a good time, and I think that's a good thing. And like I said, I always like sports cards, so it's a good way to combine two things you like. And also, like, I was the only one doing the breaks where it was just the old worthless cards and like giving out the old bubble gum. I kind of felt like Happy Gilmore. People are like offering to buy me beers and stuff. I don't know if you saw those streams, but yeah. And then handing out the cards. It was mostly like old guys that wanted the free baseball cards, but yeah, giving them out to kids, and like old guys will like go through looking at them. I just want to hold the thought until Bonnie comes back, what I wanted to ask her about. But so Rich bought his daughter a t-shirt for her birthday, and I want to hear what the caption that they actually went on. But Bonnie said on I don't know if she's coming back, but she said on that podcast, like, who would own a t-shirt with her own picture on it? And I'm sitting there thinking, I own 2 t-shirts that have my picture on it. I have 2. One has got my hot sauce logo, and then the other is my podcast logo. So I don't know if that counts because it's artwork. So it's not like it's a picture of me. So if it's not a picture of you and it's artwork of you and it's promoting a product. So I don't know if that counts, but yeah, I wanted to get her feedback on that to see if that was, I don't know if she's coming back. We might have actually lost Bonnie. And then also, yeah, I really do dig their podcast. Listen to it. My Wife Hates Me with Rich and Bonnie. But if she doesn't come back, I'll go into some of the other stuff I wanted to talk about as far as like the sports breaks and things. And we'll go through and I'll wait till she comes. I'll read the free chat until she comes back. Ray sees more gum than Chrissy's dentist. Oh, you're talking about my gum? Yeah, dude. My that was not fun. Chewing that gum from like 1987. Like I really did like almost take out a tooth doing that. That would and I do have some other packs that I did bring home because I couldn't do all the packs there. So I don't know. I think I'll do another break here on stream. Looks like Bonnie's coming back. So when she comes back in, as you're trying to get back in. But yeah, do not chew gum from back then. If I even got older gum, because the gum I had before was 1989. So I do have gum in an 1989 or 1987 pack of football cards. So we'll see how that goes. Canadian chicks are approved. I don't know. I haven't. I'm going to say no. I'm going to say one of the first girls I ever made out with. It was, like I said, I went to Bowling Green. And we are right. It's not too far from Windsor. And you only had to be 18 to drink in Canada. And like one of the first times I made out with a random girl I didn't know was in Windsor, Canada. So it was a Canadian girl. So that was like the first time I think I ever made out with a girl that I didn't actually know. There she is.
Sorry.
Oh, you're back.
Sadly, I have to go.
All right, give me 2 minutes and then we'll You said on the podcast that nobody wears a picture, a t-shirt that has a picture of themselves on it.
Right.
And I was going to say, I have 2 t-shirts that have my picture on it. One is the podcast logo.
Yeah.
And the other is the hot sauce logo. So does that count? If it's artwork, is that kind of like, or it's still a piece of shit move to wear a t-shirt with your picture on it? Am I an asshole for wearing a t-shirt that has my picture on it?
Yes.
Yes.
But here's the thing, I don't think it's bad to be an asshole. So
okay, all right. I honestly, out of all the things to be an asshole, there's bigger things in the world to be an asshole about than wearing a shirt that has your picture on it.
Right.
Yeah, like there's a guy that shoves an
old.
old
Shirt with your picture on it. You should go ahead and do that.
All right, let me read these last, and then you'll be out here in a minute. Bonnie, do you think Dat Fan and Peng Dang should tour?
Yes.
Yes, there you go. Dirty Deeds, the old I'm frozen trick. Do your plugs. I'm frozen. And then Ray, you need to have Liam on to talk baseball cards. Sure. I did. Here's my picture of Liam.
Oh, that looks like who does that look like?
Todd Lin. Looks like Todd Lin.
No.
But what do you want?
Freelander.
Judith Freelander. All right. I do think it's weird. Like he always has this COVID mask on, which I mean, understandable. But he's also the guy that was known for giving everybody hugs in the Dave Matthews video. So it's weird how it came full circle from the guy that was overly wanted to be intimate with everybody to like, all right, he's a great dude. All right. Do your plugs, Bonnie. I'll let you get out of here. I'll catch up with these guys.
Follow me on Instagram. But if you're following me on Instagram, don't make fun of how I dress. It's so annoying. Just be
What are you talking about? You dress nice.
People are constantly like, why does she look like she's trying to be a skateboarder from 1989 or something? It's like, it's the same shit. If you're saying it, someone's already said it. So I want you to be funny on my Instagram because I know you can. And that's the only reason people go to comedy is so that they can have any fans. All right. So
yeah. And by the way, I dress like I lost a skateboard in 1989 with my hat, my Primus shirt.
You're a dude.
Oh, I think you look lovely.
They have a real problem with it.
All right. Well, thank you for hanging, Bonnie.
It was fun. It was so fun. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right. Peace. All right. That's Bonnie McFarlane. That was fucking awesome. It was great. Now, I'll read some free chat with you guys. We'll catch up. Haven't seen you guys in a while. Fake Liam rules says fake Liam. Are you actually fake Liam? I thought I like those glasses too, kind of like the Hunter S. Thompson look, if you will. It was fun, man. Yeah, check out her podcast. I went to Primus last night. That's what I'll say. So I went to a Primus concert last night in Cincinnati. They're fucking great. That's why I'm wearing the shirt. But I also thought it was weird, like people still mosh. Like Primus, like I remember when I went to go see The Offspring last year, and like people are like trying to crowd surf, but everyone is like in their 40s and 50s, and nobody wants to like pick people up. But like Primus, for some reason, like it's still like young kids moshing. And here's the deal: if you want to mosh, go ahead and mosh. The thing that really pisses me off is when that was upsetting me because like I'm on the floor. It was all like either like balconies or like the general admissions like on the floor in front of the stage. So there's like a mosh pit right up front. And if you want to mosh, go in the mosh pit. What fucking upset me are the people that would like try to start moshing way on the outskirts, like start bumping into me or like other people and shit. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, if you want to mosh, don't be a pussy. It's like the biggest pussy move. It's like, if you want to mosh, get in the mosh pit and go mosh. There's people moshing. But I'm just sitting there like, you got like some like, you got a guy with his like, his kids there like his 12-year-old daughter and 13-year-old son or something, and they're just sitting there drinking sodas, and then some asshole just starts trying to mosh with, like, it's like, what are you doing, dude? There's a place to mosh. So I don't know. I didn't like that. I don't know if you guys have ever been in those kind of scenarios where it's like, dude, what are you doing, dude? I told some guy, I'm like, go in the mosh pit. Don't fucking, I'm like, why are you moshing here? There's nowhere to fucking mosh over here. So that annoyed me, but Primus was great. And one thing about Primus, like, you can like literally just hear that sound is so unique. You can hear them do anything, and they're fantastic. So I enjoyed that. A couple super chats. We're Primus, we suck. Yeah, it was Les Claypool still fucking killing it, like just killing it. And they didn't even do like their, I mean, they did My Name is Mud and Jerry was a race car driver. They didn't do like John the Fisherman, Fizzle Fry, Tommy the Cat. They didn't do any of that stuff, Anti-Pop. But like they don't have to. Like they can literally, that's the one band that they can like just do their, I guess, their B-sides, if you want to call them. But like everything they do is amazing. Like I don't know. I don't think they'll ever get old. Like they got like, I'm trying to think of bands that have like the most unique sound. Like I could listen to them cover anything and you're like pick it up and like, oh, that's Primus. It's definitely Primus. Read all the super chats. I am. Tell me one super chat I did not read. Every single super chat is being read. Now, if something's too, if someone was, there was just one I didn't read, which I put on the screen, which people could read. Yes, they did do. Wyona has a big brown beaver, and she plays with it all the time. Yes, they did. Yes, they did do Wyona's big brown beaver. Did you like Geddy Lee's? Yes, I will say that. That's like considered. Yeah, I guess they're the two. Like, I don't even know. I have no musical ability. Forget that I did a rap song for Comedy Central 15 years ago. I have no musical ability at all. If you guys saw, I can't even rap. People are saying that they want me to rap battle. I'm supposed to rap battle someone named Xerox or something. Or G-Rox once. I don't know who that guy is. But I'll rap battle him for shits and giggles. I'll do that. But as far as like they're like considered the two greatest bass players of all time is Geddy Lee and Les Claypool. So I think they're, but yeah, I think it's like also Primus, like it was my high school buddies. Like I wasn't a cool kid, but my best friends in high school all like were into Primus, so therefore I love Primus, and I still do. Like I'll run to it. Not lately. I fucked up my knee again. My knee's like, my knee is messed up. Otherwise, I'd be running today, and I'd be running to Primus. I would run to Primus all day. Go to Ween next, you pussy. Speaking of Ween, because I texted there was a guy, I texted this to Carl from WATP because he's a big Ween fan. There was a guy at the show wearing a Ween t-shirt, and I go, I found their other fan. There he is. There he is, right there. So they got two fans. But no, Primus, you can't compare Primus to Ween. Nothing against Ween, but come on, Primus has got like, it's like funk metal. It's pretty dope. A 5-year-old going to a Mosh concert. What a pathetic. Thank you. Of course. Of course. You're gonna. Why would you be nice now? Ray, are you gonna go do Being Ian when it comes to town? Oh, you're talking about Ian Fine? Fine. I mean, if I want to see Ian, I'll just go hang out with Ian. The way you said that made it sound like it was a band. But no, Ian's a good guy. I'm cool with Ian. He's Corey, G-Rox only super chatted you 300 times. Well, I will. I haven't seen him off the top of my head. I don't know it, but yes, I will rap battle him if he wants to. We'll do it. We'll do it, man. Yeah, if he wants to do it, we'll fucking have fun. I don't mind doing it. He's a good egg. I have nothing against him. Ray, you better not bail on Honk again. Oh no, I'm going to do Stalin. I will do his podcast. Honk the Clown, sure. I like Honk the Clown. Why take that pick? I wanted to show that there is another Ween fan. I was just taking a picture of the Ween t-shirt. That's all. Liam and Kevin on MLC Saturday. All right, that's. Where was I Saturday? I did not. I was doing a comedy show. But no, I don't. If I'm not on the shows, I'm not watching. It's been a nice break not watching any of this stuff. I will do I want to do a stream. Maybe I'll do one tomorrow. I don't know, but I got my job writing greeting cards. Remember, I'm at the greeting. I still have that. I still have my work I got to do on the side. Maybe I'll win an Emmy for. We'll see. I win an Emmy for writing greeting cards. But yeah, I just wanted to pop in with Bonnie. I thought there was a lot of fun. Follow Bonnie on Instagram. Check out her podcast. My Wife Hates Me. You guys are awesome. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Ray DeVito. Hit like, you bastards. Hit like, you sons of bitches. Subscribe to the channel. And you guys are all awesome. Yes, everybody is. Everyone is awesome. But yeah, it's nice. Ray, please go to Austin. Are you in Austin? But I will go. Yeah, I plan on going to Austin, and I'm planning on going to Houston. I'm going to Houston. Do some shows with my buddy Bob Biggerstaff, my old podcast partner, and then Austin. I'll definitely do some shows, at least at the Creek and the Cave. Maybe do bring back Shoot the Shite, a one-time Shoot the Shite at the Creek and the Cave, which would be a great time. It was always a killer show. I would do that show with Ben Kronberg and Marcel de Swart. Fantastic comics and great people. Waver's a good eggs. Thanks for the Bonnie interview. Yeah, no, it was awesome. It was awesome catching up with Bonnie. She's great. And you guys are awesome. Speaking of great, you guys are great. All right. I love everybody here. I'll see you guys later. Yeah, subscribe on iTunes as well. Rock Bottom Podcast. All right. I love everybody. Peace, punks.